Thanks for joining us to talk about real-time response with CrowdStrike and adding operational efficiency with Peregrine. We will also go over some of the top questions I've been asked about Peregrine from various teams at MindPoint Group. My name is Ahmed Bukhari. I'm the sales engineer manager here at MindPoint Group. I've been in various roles from SOC engineering to supporting the pen testing team, security architecture, GRC compliance. Been part of multiple cybersecurity projects here at MindPoint Group since 2017. I've been here for a long time, and it was a good time. I like computers and technology since I was a kid. The first computer I used was an 8088 green screen IBM. With me today is Greg Lyon. Greg, why don't you introduce yourself and let the people know who you are?
Thanks, Ahmed. I'm Greg Lyon, the new product development manager here at MPG. I've been at MindPoint Group since 2021, and my team is tasked with bringing to life new security-focused tools. Really, we want to create tools that help everybody do their job better. I'm also really passionate about security and its impact on our lives. In the last year, my own family was impacted by a ransomware attack at our school district here in Minneapolis. My kid might have been happy to have a couple days off of school, but I knew that our lives were going to be impacted from that moment on. And, everybody in the community. I wish the school district had CrowdStrike with RTR to limit the impact. I'm still getting, let me cover this up, still getting letters about what to do and how to react because the ransomware attack was not caved into. In other words, the school didn't have money to pay the ransom. And there's a lot of stuff out on the dark web now about our family.
Oh, wow.
It's also not lost on me that my team has been working on software that will help uncover and remediate similar ransomware attacks in near real time. Had the school district had managed EDR and the added capabilities of Peregrine, maybe they wouldn't have been, trapped. Maybe they would have been more prepared to identify and, stave off a similar ransomware attack.
Yeah, man, that's really unfortunate that your child was impacted by this incident. But it's also like a good lead into why we're here today. Real-time response, also known as RTR, is one of the key features of CrowdStrike Falcon. It gives analysts the ability to investigate, contain, remediate a remote host in near real time. It also creates the opportunity for organizations to stop threats quickly and keep them from spreading throughout their network. I can't imagine what it felt like for the Minneapolis IT team with such a large system like theirs at the school districts. They were probably, challenged with hunting down alerts and trying to remediate issues across their enterprise. And ransomware and other threats can sometimes go unnoticed and spread quickly. And time is of the essence, and you got to be patient to identify those threats and keep them from infecting other systems.
Yeah, time really is key here. The faster that threat hunters and analysts can find and contain threats, the less of an impact there's going to be on these complex systems.
Yeah. So CrowdStrike Falcon can help remediate those issues, but has a limitation when used through the dashboard. It can only remediate one system at a time. That was an issue that our own SOC analysts brought to our attention to solve. How could we remediate faster across multiple systems?
Yeah, this was the exact problem brought to our team to solve. The concept started as a project by the MPG SOC analysts to remediate via automation scripts at scale, and it quickly evolved into an idea for a program that could connect to the CrowdStrike API to run those scripts, conduct investigations, even contain and remediate across multiple endpoints more quickly than any analyst could going system by system. So our team got to work, and Peregrine is the application we built. A program conceived by our analysts and built for analysts.
That's a good explanation how you were able to scale out RTR with Peregrine. I also love the tagline, for analysts by analysts. It's pretty clever. Could you also, Greg, give like some more examples of Peregrine using RTR?
Yeah, I'd love to. The real power of Peregrine is in the ability to run batch commands. Now, what does that mean? After configuring and launching Peregrine, you'll have the ability to select multiple systems, whether they're online or offline, and then run a command or script across all the selected systems. Peregrine accomplishes this by connecting to the CrowdStrike API. Now, let me give you an example. Say you need to do some investigating around an alert to identify if there's an unknown file across your Mac endpoints. In the Run command tab, you could select all your Macs, then run a terminal command like ls to print out all the files located in a target directory. Peregrine would run that command via the API on all of the endpoints and print out the results back in the Peregrine console, which you could then review. Now, then, depending on your CrowdStrike API credentials and settings, you could run a batch command that would delete that file from all the systems that have been identified.
Oh, wow. That sounds like Peregrine is very robust in that area. It gives you access to multiple machines as well as running, terminal commands on all of them. I've seen this really speed up both the investigation and the remediation of issues for our teams. What else can Peregrine do?
One of the things our analysts shared with us was that CrowdStrike has the ability to contain a system, to keep it from infecting other systems or to keep a system isolated from getting infected while they're working to identify if alerts are warranted or benign.
Okay.
When these alerts appear, sometimes they have a need to contain multiple machines that may be infected. With Peregrine, analysts can quickly select any number of systems and mark them for containment while they investigate. This saves a ton of time for analysts by removing the need to contain systems one by one. Once the alerts have been resolved, the analyst can then either uncontain systems one at a time or in bulk if that's the appropriate course of action.
And having that ability to contain multiple systems that quickly, it's a huge advantage for the good guys. It really helps from other systems from getting infected. That feature would have helped on some of my past assignments. Sometimes my team knew what systems were infected, but we also wanted to look at similar systems that could potentially be infected. And locking those systems down before an outbreak of malware or ransomware, it would have prevented that spread and really helped limit the attack surface during an incident. So if we had that feature, it would have been really, really easier. Our lives would have been a lot easier if we had that.
Yeah, it can almost give a little breathing room where you know that things are safe for a moment, like you put everything on pause, right? Right?
Yeah. That's really cool. I really like that. Greg, I also found CrowdStrike useful when we have identified like a shady program or a task running on a system that's like malicious or something. Peregrine has the ability to identify and kill tasks by name, and it can also do it across multiple systems, like, with a lot of its, features that it can do. Could you share a little bit on how that works?
Yeah, sure thing. Peregrine can kill tasks by name across multiple systems, once again using the CrowdStrike API. As an example, say your team identified a rogue program running on Windows machines. From the Kill Task by Name tab, you could select all the Windows machines in your tenant, type in the name of that program or task as it appears in the task manager, and Peregrine would send the kill command to all those tasks on all those selected Windows machines. No more going from machine to machine to see if a task is running.
Wow, that would save a lot of time for killing tasks on multiple endpoints. And also, like, batch processing sounds great as well and is super helpful when systems are online. But we all know that not everyone keeps their laptops on, and sometimes servers, they're offline or they're down for maintenance or something. How does Peregrine handle those offline systems?
Yeah, so Peregrine's got what we call the offline RTR queue. This queue will show you your selected endpoints that were offline when you ran a batch RTR action.
Mm-hmm.
The RTR queue is managed by CrowdStrike Falcon, so even if you leave Peregrine, the queue stays active. Then as soon as one of those systems checks in with CrowdStrike, all those queued commands will be run. Once the commands are completed, you can check the offline queue to see if the scripts are completed or if there are any issues.
Yeah, that offline RTR queue feature, that's really great. It's really helpful in those response situations. Are there any other features of Peregrine that can help with some of those, mundane tasks that analysts have to go through, like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. And honestly, we're pretty proud of these features. A couple of them. First off, we've got a visual file explorer, which allows you to navigate to directories and files through a GUI, kind of similar to the Windows user experience. At first, this may not seem like a big deal, but man, analysts do love being able to drill down through endpoint file systems visually. Another thing we did the same thing for the Windows registry. So it makes it a lot easier to navigate when you're doing investigations on endpoints once again. This is really more intuitive for analysts and aligns with how they work on systems individually versus through the sort of cloud and command line type interfaces where you need to know a lot before you can even get started.
Yep. Yeah, those two are really useful features that you just talked about. As I've always struggled with remembering where I put the files and where my keys are, where my wallets are, and navigating the Windows registry, man, just forget about that. It's always been a daunting task for myself, and I've been using Windows forever, and it's always confusing for me. So what about like scripts that my team has built over the years, previously with CrowdStrike Falcon? Do they still carry over to Peregrine? Could they run in there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And then some, because Peregrine lets you utilize the scripts you already have, Bash, PowerShell, whatever. And you can also save those scripts after you've run them. And then you can, of course, we got that batch capability, so they're going to run across multiple systems. And but then you also, since they've been saved, the other people on your team can see what scripts you've run. So if you're the advanced guy, you can be showing off your skills, and then the more beginner guys can see what's going on.
Okay, that's like a good building block for the team as well.
Yeah.
So the scripting feature then works right out of the box. Um, could you tell me a little bit about how Peregrine was like? How did you guys originally build this on? Like what development platform or what language? I'm also wondering about how like, a new user would download, install, and like, go through like the first time task of, getting Peregrine set up. If you could explain that.
Yeah, sure thing. Great questions. So first of all, Peregrine's a desktop application. It's available for Windows and for Mac. We
Mhm.
built Peregrine as a standalone program. It's built on the Go language platform,
Go. Okay.
which builds self-contained binaries. Good news here is after you download Peregrine trial from the mpgperegrine.com website, there's no other files to install. You can run the program right away. It means no changes to set off alarms for your security IT team. When you run the program for the first time, a directory is created from wherever you run the program that stores the encrypted data you use to log in to CrowdStrike's API.
Oh, so it is a standalone binary. There's no other install files or system changes needed. It's all like just portable.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent.
We wanted to make it as easy as possible to get started with Peregrine. By providing self-contained and signed executables, we're also able to make it easier in strict and hardened environments to be able to more easily utilize that power of Peregrine.
So all someone needs to do is just download the executable Peregrine, and they're all set.
Close. There's there's still some configuration, so this takes a little bit, but let me just walk through this real quick.
Okay.
Um, so two things basically you're going to need. First off, you need a Peregrine seat key.
Okay.
And then the second thing you're going to need is one or more sets of CrowdStrike API key and secrets for access to your tenants. So
Okay.
let's walk these. First off, to get your Peregrine seat key, two ways to go. The first thing is if your company is already a Peregrine subscriber, you can contact your Peregrine admin and have them set up a new seat key for you. But if you and your company are new to Peregrine and you want to demo it, you're going to be able to sign up for a free 30-day demo. Once again, mpgperegrine.com.
Okay.
We'll email you a 30-day trial and give you access to the program. Now, for the CrowdStrike API key, you're going to need to contact your company's CrowdStrike admin. Your admin will then be able to grant you access to your CrowdStrike tenant or tenants. They can ensure your credentials have all the appropriate capabilities for your position to get the most out of Peregrine. From them, you should get your API key and secret that will be utilized in Peregrine. This is one of the most vital steps to get right. And this access is controlled by the user's organization, and we never see these keys.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I need a license key, seat key, API key, secret key. and then my house keys. So, so tell me.
Don't forget
I
those
mean,
house
it's a
keys.
little challenging there, but you know, I kind of see it like you just once you get it set up, the main part is the CrowdStrike API key.
Yeah.
So could you tell me about like the different access levels? And also before we get into the access levels, I wanted to ask you was you said that you never see these keys. So that means MindPoint isn't storing these keys on like a centralized server or something like that, right?
Right. They're stored just on the SOC analyst computer in an encrypted location.
Excellent. All right.
So the access that they should grant, that the admin should grant, should align with your company's CrowdStrike policies for your role. Peregrine doesn't grant access. It only allows you access via the API to the areas of CrowdStrike your individual credentials allow. So if you're a CrowdStrike read-only user, for instance, that's all the access you should get.
Okay.
And so on, all the way up to full admin type users. In the zero trust world we all should be working in, your admin should only grant access that is required for your position.
That's some good advice for admins. Also, Greg, I've been working with Peregrine for a while now, and I found the ability to switch between tenants really helpful. In regards to multi-tenancy, how did you and your team achieve that from a development standpoint?
Yeah, so Peregrine allows its users to save CrowdStrike API access to multiple tenants through its dashboard. We do save all the keys, encrypted, of course. Seems like I'm kind of a broken record there, on your systems. Those credentials are never shared off your system by Peregrine. This means that as alerts are raised for multiple client tenants, Peregrine can be used to switch quickly between tenants for faster response times.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so the multi-tenancy, it's been one of the key features that we've been using here at MindPoint Group as our managed SOC utilizes tenants that are, that we have some customers that are on US Gov Cloud, and then we have some customers that are on the commercial cloud as well. So we're able to jump back and forth between those tenants and be way more responsive.
Yeah, this was an important feature for us for Peregrine. Hey, Ahmed, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. What are you've been using Peregrine a while here, so what are some of the features that you've found helpful?
Honestly, I mean, you already kind of talked about it, and you kind of know which one it is since I always lose things. It's the file explorer, and also CrowdStrike Falcon doesn't have that capability in there, so Peregrine has it right out of the box. And it's also a feature that a lot of people overlook, being able to just visually just like see all your folders, all your files. It saved me a lot of time. Hopefully, I think it'll be beneficial for everyone too.
Yeah.
Also, another feature that I really liked, Greg, was the scripting features, like how they work right out of the box. I can run all my old scripts, whether they're in PowerShell or Bash, whatever and however I got them. And it gives me the ability to, like what you're saying, was like save my scripts inside of Peregrine, and then our team can see what the scripts look like, and they can mess with them inside of there. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, our analysts really love that. And then even as we're seeing a sunsetting of the CrowdStrike PowerShell API, there's still so many scripts out there that and so many people that have created a lot of great workflows. So we just want to make sure it's still a feature that they can use. Well, what did you think of the offline RTR queue?
Oh yeah, the offline RTR queue. It was really helpful because we have a lot of remote users at MindPoint Group since we're fully remote. We have some people that are traveling. Some are working second and third shift. It means that some people they're just not online at the same time when alerts are showing up. So having that ability to push commands to those systems as they check in, it provides data and making changes, a lot easier, and it's a big plus for us. Also, I like the fact that Peregrine, it doesn't just apply the queue and clear it. It allows me to confirm that action was run on the system before I archive it, which allows for a pretty good audit trail.
Yeah, through our testing, we found that being able to see the work in the queue once the queue is completed was an important piece of information for the analysts. We're glad you found it useful.
Yeah, that audit trail, it keeps the compliance team off my back. So that's really good. Hopefully, other people will find it as useful as I have. And Greg, I just want to thank you and your team for bringing Peregrine to life. And we hope that everyone here has seen how utilizing the CrowdStrike RTR capabilities can be enhanced even further with Peregrine. For those of you out there that are already Peregrine users, thank you. And for those of you new to Peregrine, be sure to get your free 30-day trial at mpgperegrine.com.
Oh yeah. Also, we'd love you to have you join our Discord that we've got set up. Join, send us your feedback, let us know some of your favorite features, all that kind of stuff. We're still working on adding even more functionality and making the CrowdStrike API even more accessible with Peregrine. Be sure to check out the website and check your email for update announcements.
And yeah, thanks for telling everyone about the Discord. Yeah, please join. Peregrine is available for teams to test and purchase by subscription. We really do want it to be more accessible. There are no seat limitations. You don't pay more for additional team members using it. Costs are aligned to your company's CrowdStrike endpoint count. And don't forget, you could test out Peregrine for yourself for free at mpgperegrine.com.
Also, if you're interested in learning more or have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or Ahmed via LinkedIn, or you can email the team here at cybersecurity@mindpointgroup.com. Oh, hey, don't forget to join our new Discord channel. Okay, wait, Discord. Don't forget the Discord channel. And that will give you direct access to the developers, links on mpgperegrine.com website.
Thank you, Greg, for talking us how Peregrine is helping the CrowdStrike teams to really take advantage of Falcon RTR capabilities with Peregrine. I'm Ahmed Bukhari, and he is Greg Lyon. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for keeping your company safe.
See you, everybody.